Oof.
Okay, let's kick it. So we used to carry these microSD card holders, and the company like stopped selling them. So I had to find another supplier. We found one. I really like these because I have tons of microSD and SD cards scattered all over my desk for testers, for single board computers, for photography, for data loggers. It would be great if they weren't just like in a pile. This is really nice. It's a little holder. There's labels. This particular one, wait, go back. Sorry, there's two. So this one can carry 2 SD cards and 4 microSDs. They snap in very nicely. Then use your nails to remove them. We also have a version that, if you're getting all modern, is just microSD cards. It can hold 10 microSD cards very securely. They really do not fly out by accident. I thought this would be good for like photographers too, or people who are like doing, data logging or field stuff. And then what I really like is that they have a little outline that shows you how the card plugs in. You can also write on that with your marker to tell you what that card is.
Let me tell you something, folks. These little time savers add up over a lifetime. I've spent so much time looking on SD cards, putting them in wrong, putting them in right.
What did I get?
You don't understand, everyone. Sometimes life gets down to a millisecond or a minute. And if you're there, the car hits you. If you're not, you're not. Please give yourself the gift of life and get something that saves you time. I got lucky today because I got like out of the way of something. If I would have been fiddling around with an SD card like I used to before I had this, no show. It would be very delayed.
Okay. Good advice. Next up,
it's 10% off too.
Yeah. We're from Steph Piper, Maker Queen. She emailed us about a new book. We did a blurb for this, actually. It's a very cool book because it kind of gamifies making and learning.
Yeah.
You go through these paths of learning different skills. And so if you're the kind of person who needs a little bit of like motivation of, what should I learn next to get to the goal I want, which is to be a really good coder or to be really good at 3D printing or modeling. This kind of is a DIY kit system for badging and skill modeling. Check it out. She's has great ideas, great inspiration. Just flipping through it will give you ideas of like, hey, what do I want my next project to look like? Maybe pick up a skill from one of these skills and you can continue on your path to become an expert maker.
Hey everybody, it's me, Phil. You may remember me from previous segments, such as the SD card holder. I just want to say something from the beyond. The skill seeker thing is cool because there was a time in the maker world when DIY.org was around and they made these cool hexagon badges. They were a venture funded thing, and then they acquired Little Bits, and then Little Bits went to Sphero, and then Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts, they were having some problems about how they were doing membership. There's a lot of things that happened. Basically, there was badges that people wanted to do, but it was kind of frozen. I think when we were doing badges, I wanted to do these hexagon-shaped ones, but then I saw DIY.org do it, and I said, you know what? That is kind of their core thing. I'm not going to do it. Not because of like any other reason than I think they would do a really good job, and they did. And I think the maker world kind of was like, that's cool. And that went away. And I think this is a great time to like, instead of having like one entity kind of have badges for everyone, this gives you the tool to make badges for your hackerspace, makerspace, because honestly, at this point, we probably won't mass manufacture embroidered badge. I'll probably do one-offs for my doctor, maybe plural, because at this point, it just doesn't make sense. Like, but you can get really cool one-off ones and put it in your makerspace and hackerspace and make it for 10 people.
Or 3D printed.
Yeah, because getting like 100 and running it as a business doesn't make any sense right now. Not right now. So anyways, I like this book. We don't carry lots of books.
And she's cool.
Yeah. So my pick of the week is this book, by the way.
Okay.
And that's why.
Next up, we have this Stemma board by request. A lot of people wanted an easy way to foolproof connect our I2C sensors with Stemma QT ports into a Raspberry Pi or Raspberry Pi compatible. And we have like a shim that we carry, but it's a little mechanically not super stable. A couple other options that we have, but I just want to make something low cost and simple. Single-sided, you plug it onto your Raspberry Pi or Raspberry Pi compatible or anything that has a Raspberry Pi pinout, and it will have a 5 volt to 3 volt regulator, so you have a nice clean separated power supply. It has 10K pull-up resistors for I2C in case your board doesn't have those. And then you can plug any of our hundreds of Stemma QT sensors, OLEDs, GPS units, rotary encoders, what have you. No soldering required, no fiddling, no counting pins, just plug and play.
We're anti-fiddling here, everyone. But not in the way you think. Fiddling is good, but fiddling to get something done, fiddling to put a cable in, like I was talking about with this before.
Have fun with your fiddles.
Okay, so fiddles, yeah. Why spend all this time fiddling when you could be
making?
If you weren't fiddling, you could live here now. Okay, the star of the show tonight, besides you, Lady Ada, our team, our customers, and the nine cups of coffee I had today, is
the HSTX Out video PiCowBell. So it's another cowbell. These are accessories that fit on top of a Raspberry Pi Pico, or Pico 2 or Pico 2W or whatever future board the Raspberry Pi Foundation comes up with. And it uses the HSTX pins. So those are specifically for the Pico 2 to let you generate video. And this is one of the cool new additions of the RP2350 chip that's in the Pico 2 and the Pico 2W. It has the ability to do video. Here's a couple clips just showing some video demos. And it doesn't require using PIO peripherals. It doesn't require using a lot of CPU time. It kind of does it all for you.
Maker badges.
Yeah, hexagons.
Maker badges.
And text and fishes and more. You could still use this with a Raspberry Pi Pico 1 if you wanted to, but you would only be able to use it with the PIO peripheral. You wouldn't get like that extra boost of HSTX. So it's just that this uses the specific pins that the HSTX peripheral is on. So basically, you can use it as the Pico 1 if you want, but if you want that extra boost of capability, and also, honestly, the Pico 2 has more RAM, which you really need when you're doing video because you have to buffer the entire image. Recommend this. There's also, in the middle, I added, if you see the 5 volt D minus D plus ground, I added some pins that you could use, especially with the Pico 2 because it has that extra processing capability in PIO, to also do USB host. So that's kind of fun because now you can have video and you can have a keyboard or a mouse, or if you can connect a hub, you can actually have both. So you can actually do like little mini computer stuff with a Pico 2 or Pico 2W. So, we still are going to stock our original DVI cowbell, but this is kind of what we're going to push people towards if you want to do video projects on the Raspberry Pi Pico.
Very cool. We did it. No matter what, I can say for sure this week, Lady Ada, we showed the best and only products that you can get from good old Adafruit in the USA. You get discounts, open source hardware. We're fighting a good fight out there. We can only do it with money because that's the only form of currency that's currently accepted right now. You can use it on our site. It's money. Let's see what else don't we have time for, okay?
Okay.
We've got new products.
Thanks, everybody.
I got to be straight up.